Do you know what's this?
What is it?
What it is? Money, money, money. Visa.
Okay.
Visa and MasterCard may be increasingly concerned about the rise of AI powered payment solutions. If users can complete purchases seamlessly within AI without even entering card details, they don't need traditional methods of payment, and then they can bypass Visa and MasterCard. What do you think
Hmm.
about it? Should Visa and MasterCard be terrified? Should we, as an investors, just sell all Visa and MasterCard stocks as soon as possible? Tell me.
That's a good point, but you're only talking about the user experience, which is what the user sees. Yes, the user might be able to start buying stuff directly from ChatGPT or some other AI tool, but what happens behind the scenes is where the power lies for Visa, MasterCard. Visa has VisaNet. That's the
Yeah.
backbone of global payments. So
Yeah.
VisaNet is a proprietary electronic payment network that connects card issuers, then you have merchants, and then consumers across like 200 countries. It takes care of authorization, then it clears the funds, and then settles the funds. So this validation process occurs like this, very fast, and all the validation occurs in the backend. This network is very hard to replicate, right? AI can just no. Before you cut it off.
Yeah,
So
convince me. Do I need this, or I can
yes,
cut it off?
yeah. All you see is just the front end. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. How can AI be used by Visa is to enhance their fraud detection activities. It was very hard to detect frauds. With the rise of AI, Visa and other networks have the ability to counter rising frauds. That is the benefit, not a negative for Visa or MasterCard. That's my assessment.
Right. So that's better not to do at this moment.
No.
Tell me, as an investor, should I be concerned about Visa and MasterCard?
See, any company is replaceable by a new competitor, and no company is immune from market forces. Visa and MasterCard have the same problems that any other company has. But what you need to look at is the probability of that happening. And it's basically measured by probably the moat that Warren Buffett says, right? So, what is the moat of Visa or MasterCard? So, it's like regulatory approvals. Every country requires regulation approvals, and it's very hard to get that, right? If I'm a new player in the market, I have to go to 200 countries and get approvals across all these countries. Then you have to work with banks and merchants to get all these things working together. And then the brand trust, right? So Visa has brand value, and it's very hard to replicate that brand value so easily, right? It'll take several years or even decades. And just because you are using AI, it doesn't magically do all of that for you, right? And that's the moat these companies have. And I would be surprised if some new competitor just comes in and takes away that moat. Okay, so let's search for Visa. The stock is trading at $335, but our estimator shows 205. We have a growth rate expectation of 10% and a discount rate of 10%. Let's try reducing it at 8%. Now, if I re-estimate, now I get 314, which is pretty close to 335. You have any questions? Yep.
What discount rate is and why you are setting it higher or lower?
Yeah, so we have this explanation within the app. 8% is for low risk companies, and 10% is for standard risk, 12% for high risk companies.
The more I risk as an investor, the more reward I want to get for it. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, that is right. The overall market in the US usually returns around 9 to 10%. If you're investing in an individual stock, you would expect more than the market, or at least at on par with the market. And that is why we set it at 10% as default. But then, if you're really interested in the company for other reasons, you could reduce your expectation to 8% in this case. Visa is
Yes.
also a strong dividend paying company. It has growing dividends in the last several years. Dividend yield is so low, which is even less than the market. And one of the reasons why they're able to keep increasing their dividends is because their cash flow is very strong, enough cash to distribute to the shareholders. They also buy back shares. We need to consider that when we try to value the company. If people start using cryptocurrency, for example, for trading, now that might be an issue for Visa. But as of now, that's not a concern because Bitcoin is very unstable. You don't want a currency which moves 10% up and down every day.
Right, I'm convinced to put it back in my wallet.
At this moment, it's like a duopoly, right? You got this Visa and MasterCard ruling most of the credit cards. So as long as this duopoly exists, I would not worry about these stocks.
All right. Should we look at ESG and
Yep.
how important do you think it is for Visa?
For any big organization, sustainability is a key factor now and going forward. Not only the environmental issues, it also covers the ethical aspects and the efficiency of a company. You'll have to look at a holistic set of parameters.
Well, our financial services overall are doing quite well in terms of ESG. What Visa is doing well? They're driving financial inclusion, supporting small and micro businesses, supporting women led enterprises. Another fraud prevention and security, climate progress. So, and here 100% renewable electricity across its global operation. But scope 1 and 2 greenhouse gas emission by 24% since 2020. Really high ESG rating. Challenges they're facing: environmental footprint and plastic waste. So these cards, that's still plastic. But I would say people right now are not even using that much plastic cards. Everything is being through the phone,
The phone,
right?
right? Yeah.
Antitrust concerns, and I think that when you have such a large organization operating enormous amount of money, they would be under their lens all the time. I was quite surprised. Apparently company consumes 301 cubical meters
Hmm.
of water annually, with 41% in areas experiencing high or extremely high baseline water stress. ESG transparency gaps. Critiques point out limited information on sustainable materials, circular economy initiatives, and supply engagement. Any company has some room for improvement.
Okay. I was scoring some of these metrics based on your comments. You want to submit this, or do you have any concerns with that? I think decent work and economy. I think it should be 7. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay. So now you see 57 for environment, 59 for social, and 56 for governance.
We were quite strict with Visa. What I like about this exercise, not that much the outcome, but the idea of doing the research on the company. Do they have any resources to contribute to sustainable development, or they don't really care?
Another key feature for Visa or MasterCard is the number of transactions that occur every second. Pretty much everyone either uses Visa or MasterCard for most of their purchases across the globe. That leads to a lot of cash flow, more profits year over year. Based on my analysis, Visa doesn't take a lot. Most of the money is taken by the banks itself, and some are not aware of the fact that banks take a bigger percentage when you use your cards compared to the card network itself.
Thank you, Shakti.
Thank
And we will catch up very shortly to talk about MasterCard.